and I represent an area of Woji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we have observed with dismay the continuous and serial disobedience of our Constitution by the Speaker, who continues to ignore, neglect, fail.
Watch your language.
Please.
To activate.
Watch your language.
Point of order.
Activate
Point of order.
Section 68 of the Constitution, which subsection 2, which by operation of our constitutional law and by our own rules, any member who defects on the floor of this parliament is bound to lose his seat. That Mr. Speaker has serially and continuously
Honorable Toby, please take your seat. Please take your seat.
Our law, and I think that should be completely adhered to. Thank you very much.
And call on whoever I want to call on. Does not give you the license to address the chair in such language. It does not at all. It does not give you that opportunity or license to address the chair in any language that you so wish. It is actually against our rules. And please try and mind your language next time. If you have a point of order, you raise your point of order, you refer the chair to your point of order. I am not here to sit to interpret the Constitution. The courts will interpret the Constitution and determine whether there is a break in a party or not. It is not for me to determine whether there is a split in any party. That is the function of the judiciary, and you should know better. Overruled.
You know we have fake news. We can also have peg dressing. He appeared under peg dressing, coming under that guise to indict the chair, which is quite not our tradition. Mr. Speaker, I rise with your permission to say that Mr. Toby Okechukwu should not dare repeat such actions so that he will not mislead other people around him. Thank you.
Constitutional Order, Section 39, which talks about right to freedom of expression. Mr. Speaker, and also...
Section what?
39
of the Constitution.
Of the Constitution.
Which talks about what?
But before I go into that, let me also come under Order 6, Rule 2. And that is on the issue of what the House Leader had just submitted. Mr. Speaker, for House Leader to call a Nigerian, irrespective of tribe, to say he dressed in a very fake, he used the word fake. Any Nigerian can dress in any form, provided it conforms with the tradition of this country. And if, Toby, please, can you stand up, please? When you...
hold on a second. Hold on a second. We have to do things properly. I get your point. I actually get your point. And I think you have a fair point. But I think you came under the wrong order. You came under Order 6, Rule 2. So you have to explain to me how your privilege as a legislator has been preached. Okay? So that's his privilege that is being breached. You cannot cry more than the bereaved. No, it doesn't affect you. It's his own privilege that is being breached.
It affects me.
If you read your rules properly, it's either it affects you personally or it affects us collectively as a house. So under the circumstances, but I will allow you. Go on.
Mr. Speaker, sir, please.
No. Let him finish his point. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker. Then secondly, I raised my hand to make a submission, and you did not give me the room to speak.
I asked you if it was 68. Instead of wasting the...
Mr. Speaker, you didn't know what I was going to say.
I asked you said yes.
I probably wanted to say that somebody has been kidnapped from Sulere. So you didn't know what I wanted to say, but you shut me out.
Under what point of order would you have brought that?
I said...
Under what order would you have brought the fact that somebody has been kidnapped from Sulere? Under what order?
No, you didn't let me. So you would have been able to know what I wanted to say. Having said
Okay.
that, Mr. Speaker, the issue of defection, to me, you know, each time I rise up here to raise section 68, subsection G, it makes mockery of the whole issue. We all know what is happening today. It appears the people from Zamfara are yet to be well informed about what is going on in this country. And what is that? The APC has failed woefully. They have failed in providing security.
What's your point of order?
I'm on my point of order.
Apply your point of order to the issue at hand.
And what I'm saying, I still have the floor. I still have the floor.
Apply your point of order to the issue.
If you read the letter that he so stated, there is no conflict in PDP. There is no quarrel in PDP.
Okay, so there is no conflict
that will warrant his defection.
Okay.
And I can assure you that we are challenging that in court.
Exactly my point.
It is wrong.
Exactly my point.
It shouldn't have happened, and I believe that when the court rules, you will not sit on it.
Absolutely.
This is my submission.
68, which you copiously and incessantly refer to, is a question of fact and law. It's a mixed question of fact and law. Under the Constitution which you referred to, Honorable Lumelu, under the Constitution you referred to, we have separation of powers. The judiciary interprets the Constitution. I don't. You don't. You point it out, and like you've rightly said, you've gone to court. You've gone to the right place, and that is the judiciary. It is not for me to sit here and determine whether there's a split or not a split in your party. It's a question of fact and law. So you're ruled out of order.
Sub-rule 7 and 8.
What page?
It's on page 47. Page 47. Page 47.
Sub-rule
7 and 8. It shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language on a member of the House. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, my deputy minority leader stood up to raise a very proper well-dressed in Nigerian attire, and the leader of this great house, because I understand that principal officers are principal officers.
Are you repeating the point of order already raised by Honorable?
No, Melu did not address that.
He did. No, that was what he even told the person affected to stand up.
Mr. Speaker.
He even told him to stand up. Osai, please sit down.
Mr. Speaker.
Please sit down.
Please, sir.
Floor. Yeah, go ahead.
On the point of order that was raised by Honorable Nicholas
Speaker,
Osai,
we're continuously
he
breaching our
said
Constitution.
that principal officers are principal officers. And the order says it shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language on members of the House. So I do not know what he means by that emphasis, that he believes that principal officers are indeed principal officers.
And if that is the case, that they're taking my simple joke for a serious one, Mr. Speaker, I am now back on a serious business to raise under personal explanation that what Right Honorable Toby Okechukwu did here to address the chair, the speaker in the chair, having continuously breaching the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not acceptable. I want to say without any fear of contradiction that that language Toby used against the chair and the speaker, the person of the speaker, that we cannot sit down and watch the speaker continuously breaching the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria simply because you read a letter of defection, which is ordinarily a conventional matter. Whoever has any issue to do with the defection of any member knows the next target to go. You know the right quarter. So I want to say, whoever is coming on the floor of this House for justice must come with clean hands. I now want to rise here to still state that the language Toby used against the speaker in chair is quite unparliamentary. And for me, having addressed him, even though it was a joke, that he dressed in a fake manner, I want to say that you cannot come to justice with a dirty hand. You have committed the same offense that you are trying to allege that I have committed against you. And yours is more grievous because you are addressing the speaker in the chair. Please, Mr. Speaker, we either shut this conversation up, shut it up, or we deal with ourselves within the context and the content of our rules. And I believe if we go by our rules, by the statement Hon Toby Okechukwu made here, he will not only be hanged, he will be condemned. How can you look at the speaker in the chair to tell him that you are breaching the constitution of this Federal Republic of Nigeria? So indicting. It's not even indicting to the speaker, it's indicting to this institution for a statement that I made ordinarily for joke.
Your point you are taking, leader, you are in order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the fact that you have properly ruled on my point of order and have also pointed the fact that I can also approach, or we can approach the courts. Any untoward language is not intended. But I believe that I was going to consider it a joke what the leader of the House said previously, and that was why I didn't raise any breach of privilege. But his latest outburst, which also elevates it to the point that I should be, for what I said, available for hanging, or for whatever sentence he wishes. I believe that the combined reading of our House rules and the Constitution, which presupposes that there shouldn't be discrimination against anyone. And I can read, a citizen of Nigeria, Section 42. A citizen of Nigeria of a particular community, ethnic group, place of origin, sex, religion, or political opinion shall not be, discriminated against. I didn't know that my dressing as done today would offend or would be breaching any of our cultural preferences. I believe that I'm entitled to dress like a Nigerian, and I've seen my colleagues who have dressed in other cultural areas. But if that offends the leader of the House, then there is a big question mark there. And if we also look at order 9, Rule 12, it says, members shall attend sittings of the House formally dressed. As far as I'm concerned, Mr. Speaker, what I'm adorning today is a formal Nigerian dress. And I do not see how this offends anybody, particularly the leader of the House, that should be setting example, not setting example in breach. Thank you very much.
When he made his statement, even you said it, that you knew he was joking, and that's why he didn't. So I don't know why it's coming up again. Your point of order is noted.